Hello, my friends. Today is May the 9th, and this is a reading for May the 9th folks born on this date. This is a reading to cover the year to follow, a four-card pull. I do healing work and I do psychic readings, a lot of it via the internet. Look at my credits. This is a four-card pull for the year to follow. This is the general energy card of the year, the Queen, and the Queen asks you to um, look at all look at your emotional understandings of yourself and dive deeper into knowing your intuitions, dive deeper into looking at whether you're dealing from the sense of self-pity, or you're dealing from a sense of worthlessness and abandonment, or if you're dealing from a sense of higher authority, uh, but ultimately whether you're dealing from a sense of self-centeredness versus helping the world, helping everybody in your queendom, helping those people who need help around you. The Queen, I think, in her highest, he or she, in your highest place of giving, understands emotions, understands the heart, understands through compassion people's actions, understands different faces that are put on to create different hiding places in oneself and in others, understands emotional currents underneath things, and really understands, the depths of one's power of water, intuitions, feelings, cleansing, understands what needs cleansed and how to go about cleansing things. Queens, those rising from kind of divas to queens, in their utmost. The divas are often about me, and the queen is often about us, and even them. Quite often, I think the queen in her utmost is, that beautiful exemplification of giving with whatever the queen has to offer. If it's pentacles, it's money and resources, and if it's cups, it's emotional support and joy and healing and intuitions. And if it's air, it's intelligence and wisdom and paths and truth and communication. And if it's fire, it's about teaching how to balance fire and not let fire either consume one or keep one apathetic. So it's those understandings of drive and will and power. So she shares those understandings of what fire can do when they burn too hot or they burn too cold. So all those things are what the queen can give from whatever realm he or she operates. So this is a question um, about your look at your inner look at yourself, your inner feeling about yourself, your inner knowing about the feelings of yourself. So, what is your challenge? Well, the challenge is the magician to create. The magician, takes from all the elements, takes from the air, fire, water, and air to create something physical on the earth that is imbued with a sacredness of being. The magician has the right words, has the right talents and the gifts, has the grounding on the earth to make something physically tangible, works through their heart more and more and more to understand the balance of giving and receiving, the balance of creating magic, the balance that, everything created comes from destroying something. So one has to be wise about destruction as well as creation. There's all this power of the magician to create, but we're all magicians and we all create our everyday worlds. I think your challenge is feeling like you can't create your everyday world in the way that you want to make it. For some reason, it's not going the way you want it to, and you don't feel. Maybe you're feeling self-pity about that. Maybe you're feeling like you deserve to have better. So there's some kind of self-authority that's large here, and you're not willing to open to some other understandings or ideas. Maybe it's just you don't feel like you have the right uh, stuff yet, that you're not able to do that yet, that you can't step into that yet, that you're not good enough yet, that you don't have the training yet. It's all about yet. So, okay. Um, Your challenge is to step into your magicianhood, and you're reluctant or you're ambivalent or you're attitudinal toward getting there. Well, you know, here's the card, the action to take. It's the blue heron, which is all about self-reflection. I mean, this is a water card. This is a water being. It's reflection in the pool, diving into the pool, looking at oneself. Through the filmy and asking yourself questions, self-reflection about what do you really see? What are you hiding from yourself when you look in the mirror? Do you see self-importance? Do you see something pitiful? Do you see something that's unworthy in yourself? And do you let that color your truth? Do you let that have the power? Uh, so it's these feelings that I think that are underneath you that really are the things that are keeping you from being uh, the magician that you want to be. So it's time to look at those. uh, do you trust your intuition? Can you trust your intuition? You have to trust this is the action to take. You have to trust your intuition. You have to trust your feelings. You have to look at your feelings and say welcome, and not hold them back and call them bad or wrong or evil or sinful or whatever you might have tagged things before. Be more queenly. Be more accepting of what comes to you. Understand that it is a gift. Understand that you're being given a gift. Your queen needs all these gifts given to her so she feels good. And I think if you understand that the emotions that might have been underneath you that have colored your world are really gifts now that want to share with you what is the true feeling underneath them. Maybe you can learn to have some compassion, more compassion for yourself, more love for yourself, and more understanding of the balance of what it takes to create in this world. It takes a lot of heart, and it takes a lot of head. It takes a lot of trust in intuition, and it takes a lot of trust in analysis. It takes a building and a bridging between the sacred and the mundane. It takes, a sense of creating with the hands, creating with the heart, creating with the body and existence, creating with one's passion, aware of one's emotions and what the wants and the repulsions and the attractions are, but also aware of one's intelligence and how to be analytical and clear of thinking and clear of communicating. All those things are important. So the blue heron says, well, look at yourself primarily around your emotions. And here's the synopsis card. I think it says to trust yourself, even in the midst of feeling like you're swamped, like there's all kinds of water around you, to trust yourself. Sometimes trusting yourself says you can ask for help. Sometimes trusting yourself says, I am the help that I need. All I need to do is be open. Open my face to the light, open my face to the visions, open my face to the creativity, open my hands to create. I think from my heart and from my visions and from my higher senses of self, and not get stuck so much in the low parts of myself, and not get stuck in my self-pities, not get stuck in my own haughtiness, and not get stuck in my not feeling like I'm good enough or have enough or am enough or know enough. It's you are the light, and the more light you give out, the more light you will draw to you in response to you. And that is one of the standards of good magic. The more good light you pass out into the world, the more good light will be shown back onto you. Aho, blessed be.